Hello and welcome to the Total Entertainment Podcast. My name is Paul and today we're going to take a look at Fatboy Slim, who's doing his show down at Motorpoint Arena. So just before we get on there, let's get a bit of history on him. So Norman Quentin Cook, he was born Quentin Leo Cook in 1963, is known mainly by his stage name of Fatboy Slim. He's an English musician, DJ and record producer who helped to popularise the big beat genre in the 1990s. In the 1980s, Cook was the bassist for the Hull-based indie rock band The Housemartins, who achieved a UK #1 single with their a cappella cover of Caravan of Love. After the Housemartins split, Cook formed the electronic band Beats International in Brighton, who produced the #1 single Dub Be Good To Me. He then played in Freak Power, Pizza Man and the Mighty Dub Cats with moderate success. In 1996, Cook adopted the name Fatboy Slim and released Better Living Through Chemistry to critical acclaim. Follow-up albums You've Come a Long Way, Baby, Halfway Between the Gutter and the Stars and Palookaville, as well as singles such as The Rockefeller Skank, Praise You, Right Here Right Now, Weapon of Choice and Wonderful Night achieved commercial and critical success. In 2008, Cook formed the Brighton Port Authority with David Bryan. He has been responsible for successful remixes of Corner Shop, The Beastie Boys, A Tribe Called Quest, Groove Armada and Wild Child. Despite not releasing a new studio album since 2004, Cook has been musically active with touring and made a concept album, Here Lies Love, with Bryan in 2010. Cook holds the Guinness World Record for most top 40 hits under different names. As a solo act, he has won 9 MTV Video Music Awards and 2 Brit Awards. It was reported in 2008 that he held the Guinness World Records for the most top 40 hits under different names. The following is a list of lesser known aliases used by Cook in performances. So you've got Arthur Chubb, Asher D Slim, Biggie Slims, Cheeky Boy, Chemistry, Chimp McGarvey, Cook the Bass, Disc Attack, DJ Delight used in DJ Tools, for example acapellas for Fatboy Slim's singles, DJ Quentox, The Ox That Rocks, Drunk Soul Brother from Glastonbury 2004, The Feel Good Factor, Grime Minister, Hot Since 63, Margaret Scratcher, oh that's a good one actually, Margaret Scratcher, Mighty Gus Poylet, Pierre Burner Down, Sensitaria, Son of a Cheeky Boy, Son of Wilmot, Stomping Pond Frogs, Sunny Side Up, Yum Yum Head Food. So now we've had a bit of history about him, let's see what's going on down at the Motorpoint Arena. We'll be back after this. This December. News just in, the Crown Prince of the Natarian Empire has been violently assaulted and mugged whilst taking a walk through central London. No comment has been made as of yet, but we are expecting a press release very soon. What the fuck are you, mate? Well, what do you mean? What? There's nothing wrong with me. You're dressed like an absolute dork. I mean, you have a spotty pus-filled face with proper NHS-style glasses. You wear a trench coat that's not even a real leather trench coat. I mean, that's fake leather. You look like an absolute cretin. And look at you, wearing your leather trousers and some thigh-high boots. The fuck's wrong with you? I mean, look at that piece of jewellery as well. I mean, that's the worst costume jewellery anyone can ever have, mate. Silence, fool. What? I said silence, fool. Give me all your money. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I said, give me all your money. Oh, God. I told you to give me all the money. I told you. Now, look at you. You just fouled yourself by my hand. I am the Lord of your ring piece. We now have more information about the Crown Prince of the Natarian Empire's violent mugging last night. There was a vast list of items stolen, but the most important piece was his jewellery, his hand jewellery. In fact, it was a set of rings that are all joined together, a ring for every finger. It is of utmost importance that this is returned, and if you see anyone wearing this piece of distinct jewellery, you must not approach them, because it will make them incredibly dangerous. It is not a piece of jewellery, it is in fact a weapon, and it is a very vicious weapon indeed. We do implore you, if you see this weapon, do not approach the person, do not go near the person, just call the police, and someone will be dispatched to retrieve this weapon of mass devastation. This December, Percival Reginald Vert is on a mission to find the Lord of the Ring Piece. An extended episode of Gumshoe from Muster X Media. So on this nice sunny day at the Motorpoint Arena, we have 6 trucks. Yes, 6 trucks for one DJ. 6 trucks for one DJ and 2 tour buses. So it's pretty big. Now, there's no super fans waiting outside. It's because it's a bit on the cold side, but it's a beautiful day, I have to say. Real beautiful day.
A few moments later.
So I'm inside the Motorpoint Arena right now, and this is looking pretty impressive. So the stage is bang in the centre of the entire arena. He has his own stage, and it's a circle on a square, so they can just basically roll the stage in and out, and that's all pretty much built, and all the floor units are all plumbed in, but they haven't wheeled the stage in position just yet. They'll plug all the lights up once the stage is in position, and all the power's going to come through the duct in the middle of the floor. The lighting rig is a big old square with a nice circular truss that drops down from this big old square. On the big square truss that's in the middle of the roof, you've got 6 line arrays pointing out, and each line array is 6 deep. And then in the middle of the square, which is being winched up right now, are the base line arrays, which are going right up, and you've got 4 of them, all just pointing out on each side of this mini cross that's going up right now. Because of the position of the stage, you've got a lot of weight in the middle of this roof, which it can take. It can take all this weight. It's all been pre-planned, and it's been done a few times before. Now, once this bit of line arrays are up, the lighting truss is going to go up, and on the lighting truss is a LED screen that goes around in a massive circle, which is going to look pretty sick once it's all working, and there's going to be obviously visualizations on the screen. It's possibly going to be 1 deep, but I may be wrong. At the moment there's only 1 set of screens deep on this truss, on the circular truss, but if they're going to go 1 more deep, then they've got to raise the truss to be able to do it at working height. So we'll see. And coming off in various different directions are different legs, shall we say. We've got leg trusses, and on these leg trusses there's a hell of a load of lights which will be lighting off certain aspects of the arena floor. So you basically got a massive DJ lighting setup. There's not going to be any lights on the circular truss, but they're on these legs, which are independent to this one circular truss. All these leg trusses are all powered up, ready to go. They just need winching up in the air, and they're going to obviously go up as soon as the main central circle is up in the air. They feed the power from the circular truss, so the power gets dropped in, run around the circular truss, and sent onto these legs, which, as I said, you can't, they're going to winch the whole lot up in one go, and that's the only way they can physically do it, because they end up snapping cables otherwise. But with all these legs all powered up, ready to go, it's looking pretty impressive. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 6 legs as well. So there's it's going to be a nice amount of lighting. Nice floor lighting on the stage, and nice down lighting from the legs. And I'm looking forward to this all in the air, looking amazing. We'll be back after this. If you're a band member or an artist, dancer, singer, actor, street performer, and you're listening to this and you'd like to talk to us on our show about your latest gig or your album release on digital media, or even want to talk to us about a student show, how about dropping us an email on musterxmedia1983@gmail.com and we'll get you on our show. So Fatboy Slim has two supporting artists. The first is Eats Everything, and Eats Everything is better known by his friends and family as Daniel Pierce. He's an English DJ and a record producer. He came to prominence in 2011 with the release of Entrance Song on Pets Recordings. Since then, he has received critical acclaim for a number of solo releases on Dirty Bird, Hypercolour and Future Boogie. Dan began his DJ career at infamous Hearsay at Club Loco Bristol, aka Lakita's ugly little sister, and was soon permanently placed as a resident at the Bristol Night Rip Snorter, then Scream in the early 2000s. As well as playing some gigs in Europe, it was not until 2011 when Entrance Song was played to Pets Recordings, followed soon after by a release on Claude Van Stokes' Dirty Bird label, that Dan's career as a DJ began to gain momentum. Since 2011, Dan has played a number of the world's biggest clubbing institutions such as Fabric, DC10, Amnesia, The Warehouse Project, Space and Watergate, as well as festivals like Glastonbury, Festival, Creamfields and Secret Garden Party. He has received support from BBC Radio 1's Pete Tong, who has asked him to do 3 essential mixes since 2011. Most recent of which was a live recording of Pete and Dan B2B at the Warehouse Project in 2013. In 2014, Dan was booked to be the first ever resident at XOYO in London. The 3-month residency saw him play every Saturday for 12 weeks. Dan has also received a number of accolades as a DJ. In 2012, he won Best British DJ in the DJ magazine Best of British Awards. In addition to this, in December 2012, he was the highest new entry in Resident Advisor's prestigious Top 100 DJs poll, coming in at number 13. As a producer, Dan has had a string of critically acclaimed releases on Pets Recordings, Dirty Bird, Hypercolour, Future Boogie and Crosstown Rebels. He has also released remixes for a broad selection of labels, given his distinctive take on tracks by the likes of Adam F, Jamie Jones, Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs, Chicken Lips, Express 2, The Streets and Fortet. He has also collaborated in the studio with the likes of Cats and Dogs under the name Cats Eats Dogs, Typically Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs, Justin Martin, Scream and Lucas, as well as the singer-songwriter Sinead Harnett. In 2011, Dan was awarded the Best Breakthrough Producer in DJ Magazine's Best of British Award. At Disclosure's Alexander Palace Sets in 2015, Eats Everything provided the opening act. We're just going to quickly go over the other support DJ, which is DJ Baklava, and she is a DJ, a producer, a singer, songwriter and a musician. South London born, now Brighton based from her earliest years, the multifaceted artist Baklava was immersed in a melting pot of sounds. Her parents are from Lebanon and Ireland, throwing different musical flavours into her upbringing. With her future-facing UKG house and electro-pop blend, she adds a unique twist to the musical landscape. Embedded in both the Brighton and London underground music network, Baklava started out as a Brit school student with a love of singing and writing. Her knack for DJing and producing came later, but is now an important part of her musical persona. The artist also recently made a remix for Sunny Fodera and Diplo. The 25-year-old was granted her breakthrough in 2019 with Control Radio 1 Extra DJ Target, the first to pile on support. Singles Got It Good, Take Time and Through the Night followed, as well as playing alongside the likes of Eli B, Dan Shake, Zed Bias, Corrupt FM, High Focus Records and Conductor. In 2020 she was singled out by Ministry of Sound as a new signee. A hotly tipped debut EP was the obvious next step. Its high anticipation confirmed as well placed by Clara Amfo, Greg James, Nick Grimshaw and Jaguar. This year sees Baklava follow up EP Autonomy, guided with a personal single Close to You. Both handle similar themes of love and female independence. Baklava has been vocal about the lack of support for female and non-binary DJs and decided to go ahead and start her own DJ platform support network, Spin Sugar.
A few moments later.
And we're back. So, a nice little update so far. we've got the leg trusses coming out, which have gone up, but to a working height. So they're basically up half height, whilst I wait for the circular truss in the middle to go up. At the moment, they just powered up the screen on the circular truss, so I do believe that it is only going to stay one layer deep, but I may be wrong. They may add some more in. They're just doing a border tab on the circular truss, and when I say border tab, that's basically a very short bit of drape to cover the truss to make it look invisible, so it's just black, because everything else is black and they just want to mask off the fact that it's a chrome truss. So with a bit of luck, once they've flashed out the entire screen, which isn't going to be that far off, they'll be able to send the rest of the rig up to where it needs to be and put the truss legs up to maximum height.
A few moments later.
So the screen is fully operational, although I thought it was going to be one screen deep, but no, it's actually 3 screen deep. And it's going to look amazing once we've actually got an image on there. So far they've just got coloured squares labelling up exactly what layer and what screen number it is. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, just about to be winched up is another little bit of round truss that's going to fit in, I suppose, around the subs. Now, you can't see the subs at the moment because the screen just hides it all away. You can't even see the chrome outer circle. It's all hidden by the screen. And now, there's the final bit of truss for the centre that's about to get winched up. And I've only just spotted this as they were putting it in position. It's another small circular truss with a few more lights on there, but cameras. We've got pan and tiltable cameras. So this is going to look interesting. So now they'll be able to record Mr. Norman Cook, Fatboy Slim, as he's performing. So you can see him all around on the screen. They're going to also be able to record stuff for music videos and for a tour DVD possibly. It's going to look great. And I would assume... Now I know what you're going to say, that assumption is the mother of all ups. But what's left to do is winch that last bit of truss up and move the stage in position, and then it's done. And once the stage is in, the tour have got their own set of mojo, which will then surround the round stage. So that's all that needs to be done. A square of mojo, the stage, and that last circle, and then it's all up. The lighting trusses, the legs, they're all up in the air as well at their actual heights, which are tilted 30 degrees up. So the bit of the legs furthest away from the truss are the high points, and the bits that are in line with the truss are the low points. It's going to look amazing. It really is going to look amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing this all switched on with the lights down. It won't be too much longer now. It won't be too much longer at all. And currently the time is 2:39 of this recording, that is. They're pretty much ahead of schedule. They really are nearly ready to go. The pickers just come back into the building, so they're just going to do a few more adjustments of the cables, as well as making sure that the last bit of truss is rigged correctly before it goes up, and then we are happy. So the stage is now in position, and they've plugged all the lights in from the duct power down beneath it, and now the mojo is about to go in around the stage. Also, you've got a handful of subs around the stage itself, so 1 per side. You don't need any more than that because they got 4 subs in the air, and these subs, they're not small subs. I mean, these are proper meaty subs. Serious hardware indeed. Picker's just about to leave, and everything else is up and running and fully functional. Just waiting for the sound system to be tested, and then everything is all ready to go.
A few moments later.
So the production team have just finished their sound check, and now they're doing a test of all their systems. And it turns out that the leg trusses, it's all in kinesis, which means it's designed to go up and down very, very quickly and retrim, so you can actually have the truss go up, down, or pivot, so a bit of it go down, the other bit and the other half goes up, vice versa. We have a lot of different types of lighting. They have lasers, which are all pointing outwards, 45 degrees upwards from the stage. The screen is all fully tested and working, and they've just tested the stage as well, because the round section of the stage on the square rolling stage is a revolve. So Mr. Fatboy Slim, or aka Norman Cook, can rotate around so everyone can see him forwards at some point. He won't be static all the time, he won't be moving all the time, it'll be from time to time that the stage will rotate. It's going to look pretty goddamn good. Very unique show. It's not often that you'd see a show of this caliber with the amount of technology in it, as well as being done in the round, so everyone can see the front of the principal. With the stage in the middle of the arena, a lot more people are going to be able to get that experience of being really close and be able to see the principal very closely. I'm looking forward to seeing the show when it opens up. We'll be back after this. This podcast contains themes that are unsuitable for younger listeners, and parental guidance is advised.
It's been 30 years since they came. Who's that? The android gas sucks. Hold on, guys!
New episodes every Friday. The links are in the description. So now the show's over, let's go over DJ Baklava. So she started off as soon as the doors opened. Not only was she DJing other people's songs, but she managed to play her own material. And when she did her own material, she picked up the microphone and sang. So she was doing a good job actually, she did really well. From the start of her set, as in the doors opening, all the way to the end, she had people dancing. So it started off with lots of floor space exposed with a few pockets of people dancing, right up into it being quite packed. And by the end of her set, it was like 2/3 full. The lighting was done throughout, from Baklava through to Eats Everything, through to Fatboy Slim. It was done as though it was nightclub lighting, and it looked amazing, because at the end of the day, they had some really expensive toys that nightclubs definitely would never have. And even though it was Baklava doing a support, and it was basic lighting, because obviously they don't want to unleash the secret weapons until Fatboy Slim's on stage, it still looked pretty good for what it was. So at the end of Baklava's set, you had Eats Everything come up and cue up his first song, whilst the Baklava was singing and playing her final song on the same mixer, I may add, because you had Fatboy Slim's mixing console and you had the support console, and it worked. It worked really well. And then when Eats Everything took over, he dropped his song just as Baklava finished, and it's a seamless changeover. I mean, completely seamless, this changeover, and with a hug between the two of them, Eats Everything took over. By the time Eats Everything started, you had pretty much everyone cram on the northeast and southeast side. So there was a massive crush in the area. People at this point hadn't realised that you could go all the way around the stage, leaving the west side completely empty at that point. I suppose that's because everyone's used to having the show end on and not in the round, which is not a problem. But once people realised, they start to then filter through to the other side of the arena. I have to say, both Baklava and Eats Everything did an awesome job warming up the audience, ready for Fatboy Slim. Fatboy Slim couldn't ask for a better double warm-up, to be honest. Between the two warm-ups, Baklava and Eats Everything, you could tell that they weren't playing from a playlist yet. They didn't get a memory stick and just chuck it in and hit play and pretend. No. They actually were DJing properly and singing properly. In Baklava's case, it was all done properly. You could tell from the action on the DJ console in comparisons to the noises that were made that they were actually doing it live. There was no pre-record on there, absolutely no pre-record, and it came across as truthful. It really did. That's what probably made people enjoy the show even more, because they knew it was 100% real and nothing prefabricated. Also, they were using CDJs. There was no computer on hand for them to do it. It was all on CDJs, so it is a bit difficult to fake your set on a CDJ. I mean, obviously modern ones could use memory sticks where you got your songs plugged into them, but you know, from going between one unit to the next and on your 3-channel mixer, you could tell that it was actually done real. At the end of Eats Everything's set, the crowd went mental when Fatboy Slim was about to come on. His mini pre-show, his interlude, whilst they were clearing the stage of the support act's DJ console, he had a reggae remix of We Will Rock You, and Fatboy's tour image was on the screens. It was a good remix, I have to say, and I'm guessing it's going to be one of Fatboy Slim's remixes of that particular song. I've never heard that version before, so it must have been remixed specifically for the show. At the start of that song, all the lights went down and all the blue moving washers, they started to scan the audience like blue searchlights. And it was dark, it was blue, and it was perfect for the crew to remove the bits on the stage that needed to be gone. He even had a member of the crew just double checking that the revolving section of the stage was completely clear of cables and whatnot. He just got his torch out and walked the circumference of the stage on the outside to make sure that nothing was going to get caught in the revolving stage's track. Another bit of professionalism. And all this happened within the 4-minute interlude between Eats Everything and Fatboy Slim actually coming onto the stage. There was a slow version of Praise You that played at the end of the interlude, and as it happened, Fatboy Slim, aka Norman Cook, made his way to his decks, ready to start his show. And at that point, the lights got brighter and Fatboy Slim dropped his first song, which was Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat. And as the beat dropped, the lights went sick and a load of confetti cannons got launched, and it looked amazing. At that point, I had to leave my position and go and do a bit of noise monitoring, and I can safely say that this show equaled the Manic Street Preachers on noise. So we now have a tie for the top spot of loudest show, and that is Fatboy Slim and the Manic Street Preachers, which is still a surprise to me. I don't know how they managed to do it, but they did. And Fatboy Slim on his own managed to equal the Manic Street Preachers in their noise. I have to say, Fatboy Slim was playing up to the crowd really well, and they were picking up on it and loving it. And it's the little things that he was doing. He was walking around the stage at certain points whilst the track was playing. He was walking around barefoot. He was dancing barefoot. He was laying down provocatively, taking a mickey, and the crowd were loving it. They were loving it, especially when he got out his different masks at different point of the show. It worked really well. So later on in the set, you had the lasers kick off. I mean, this laser show was amazing, and it dropped when the words "Funk So Brother" come over the PA. Fatboy Slim never actually played that song. He just dropped the odd line here or there into it, which was good. I mean, he didn't make it all about his songs. He was playing other people's songs and remixing everything. Everything in this set was a full-blown remix done by Norman Cook, aka Fatboy Slim. All a remix. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then to watch the lasers and then the kinesis dancing up and down was brilliant. So when I say the kinesis, that is the truss legs, which were in different positions around the circular stage, and they would either dance up and down independently or retrim, so one side doesn't move but the other side the side that's closest to the stage pitches down 45 degrees, which is a big drop, and it looked even more sicker. So there's lots of pyro throughout this show. You had a load of gerbs. You had gerbs go off at the start of the show and towards the end of the show, just before Greta Thunberg turned up on his screen unexpectedly when he sampled her "How dare you" speech. But he sampled most of the speech, didn't sample the "How dare you" bit, but he sampled the "Right Here, Right Now," and he mixed that into his version of "Right Here, Right Now," his very own song. But it wasn't the full song. That just kept cutting in and out from other songs, as it was yet again another Fatboy Slim remix of a remix of a remix, and it worked. It bloody worked. On the last song of the set, which happened to be near enough a full version of Praise You. You had All the Lights Go Yellow and a little bit of green, and then the final pyro happened, which was the streamers. They launched a load of streamers out, which are still stuck in the grid right now as we speak, and the lasers reflected off it, all the lights strobed off it, and it looked amazing. I mean, that's the best spectacle I've seen in a long time in this arena, where everything just worked perfectly. The pyros, the lights, the sound, the kinesis, all together on this one particular song, and it looked amazing. It really did. Now, I have to say, tonight's show was complete and utter value for money. I mean, total value for money. Not only did you have an amazing upbeat dance set, not only did you get a top of the range light show with the kinesis system for added effect, you got lasers and a lot of pyro, but you had the raw stage presence of Fatboy Slim, aka Norman Cook. Such an amazing artist, and what an amazing show. And if you have a chance to see him on this tour, or even next time he goes on tour, I highly suggest you get a ticket if you're a fan and you haven't seen him live. Get your act together, get a ticket, and go and see Fatboy Slim live. You will not regret it. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye for now.